Hello everyone, I'm Victor Kohn. I'm third year PhD at Nantes University. I really want to thank you to invite me to speak today about a paper entitled Using Grammatical Inference to Breed Privacy-Preserving Dataset of User Logs. This paper is worked with Colin de la Higuera and Aurel Le Capitaine, both from Nantes University. Let's begin by detailing a little bit about what is privacy-preserving data publishing. The slide details a classical pipeline for this task. On the left side of the slide, we have the sequential data in input. This data come from user interaction of websites. In this case, we choose a massive online streaming platform. Usually, all the data of the users are aggregated in a DB. We name this DB raw sequential data base. After that, the privacy mechanism, which is the central part of the pipeline, should generate DB as close as possible from the raw one, but without threat for the original user privacy. Indeed, at this stage, we will classically face the problem of a trade-off between privacy and utility. The utility needs the dataset to be as close as possible between the raw one and the generated one, and at the opposite, the privacy needed to add the noise or to alter the raw dataset in order to protect the user privacy. Once the privacy-preserving algorithm generates the new database, this database can be released and used lightly by third party, for example, for research purpose. In this pipeline, the privacy-preserving mechanism is a keystone, which should answer robustness against all possible attacks. And in particular, we will see the most propagating one today, the linkage attacks. And in this paper, we try to propose a privacy-preserving mechanism, especially adapted for sequential data, and widely inspired by grammatical inference approach. But before I introduce our method, let me begin by a bit of context. The amount of sequential data today constantly grows. This is mainly due to data coming from web and mobile application, and due to the interaction of users recorded on these platforms. We also observe today a need for sequential dataset, mainly in the research. This need is true in many areas because there are lack of free datasets for benchmarking. For example, in recommendation, this lack is identified as a threat for reproducibility and slow the progress of the research in the area. But the second reason is the unprecedented success of the data-driven approaches. I think mainly of deep neural networks on many tasks. This success implies a large amount of data to be available for train these models. And logically, this also increases the need of public sequential datasets. Obviously, user navigation logs clearly requires a privacy-preserving process before being published. And this is all more true than that several papers have demonstrated the efficiency of linkage attack on sequential data. For example, on Netflix user interaction data. There are today very few algorithms or definition of privacy which provide such guarantee against all attacks, and in particular linkage attacks. The most popular framework guaranteeing protection against attack is differential privacy. We'll talk a little bit about it right now. Differential privacy is a new mathematical definition of privacy, introduced in 2006 by Dwork and al. The differential privacy is based on a straightforward intuition. The intuition is if there is no data coming from me in a database, there is no risk for me when the database is released. Therefore, an ideal privacy-preserving algorithm should generate a database where everything should happen as if each individual was not present in the database. This is what it is mathematically explained in the definition. Considering two neighboring databases, D and D prime, that differ only on one record, so one users, we should be able to, for any function differentially private, and for any output of this function, have a multiplicative threshold between the result of the function applied on D and the result of the function applied on DB. This is what is shown on the diagram in the case of John. Here we have two databases which are the same database with the only difference that this database contains John and this one does not contain John. And we should observe the same output for any differentially private function with John or without John, meaning that John does not impact so much the result of the function. Obviously, it's not always possible to have exactly the same result. So we try to have the almost the same result, sorry. And the almost here is controlled by the parameter epsilon in the definition, meaning that for any individual and any possible query, the probability of a result should not vary more than epsilon in multiplicative factor. Let's now present the guidelines of our approach. We follow the differential privacy guidelines, and we also take into account of the specificity of sequential data for developing this approach. This approach can be detailed in 4 points. Firstly, we learn a catastable language from the data. It's possible because it has been proved that, unlike for regular language, as example, algorithm can learn catastable languages in the limit from positive examples, meaning this language can directly be learned from the raw sequence. And the catastable is used in many applications for modeling sequential data, and it is particularly good to keep a short pattern in the data. Secondly, we adapt the output automata for handling a session duration. We will see a little bit more about that just after. And thirdly, we develop a definition of differential privacy in the case of our automata. This definition is largely inspired by differential privacy. And finally, we provide a privacy-preserving algorithm allowing to generate a dataset which offer the privacy guarantee in the sense of our definition. And finally, we use this algorithm for generate a new dataset with the pruning algorithm we develop. Without going in depth, we can see on the slide a third example of what we call a probabilistic timed catastable automata. The automata structure comes from the learned catastable language. Oops, sorry. Yes, the structure comes from the learned catastable language. We also add a Gaussian probability distribution on each transition to model its duration. This Gaussian is directly learned from the observed duration in the data. On this three examples, the alphabet is A, B, C, D. The states are a substring from the original string. As an example, the event C, when taking place in state A led us to the state AC, and its probability is 0.6, and the duration is derived from this positive Gaussian. For example, it can be 30. Using this model, we can obviously generate a sequence. A typical sequence generated could be B, BC, CB, DB, with probability 0.7 times 1 times 0.9 times 1. And this could generate the second B 25 seconds, C 40 seconds, B 22 seconds, and D 20 seconds. We will not explain here in detail the learning algorithm of this automaton, but the technique is largely detailed in the paper for those who are interested in having more information. Obviously, at this stage, the automata learned before on the previous slide does not guarantee any privacy constraint, and the generated sequence have no reason to preserving the privacy of the users. For this reason, we should define privacy preserving for the case of our automata. For that, we follow the intuition of DP, meaning that no single examples should be too prominent for a transition. Consequently, differential privacy for automata means scrutinizing all the transition and checking if the counts for one single string in the raw data don't exceed a given threshold, which is a multiplicative threshold. The definition become a string is said epsilon sensitive on a given transition if we observe a multiplicative gap greater than epsilon on the transition probabilities between two automata, built-in for NDP differing only on one record. Obviously, we will seek for an algorithm able to remove all epsilon sensible words, because we want data to not have a word which impact too much the result. And when this is done, the automata is said differentially epsilon private, and should thus be used to generate data to be released. Thanks to this definition, we create a pooling algorithm able to remove all epsilon sensitive transitions. For that, we follow a very straightforward implementation consisting in pruning all epsilon sensitive transitions until convergence. And we also prove in the paper the convergence of the algorithm and detail it more. And we also demonstrate this practical efficiency on dataset with more than 1 million of records, like this one we used for the case study. Our case study is done on the XFigun data. XFigun is an European project aiming to connect educational resources in global networks. In the project, the user are invited to navigate through resources, and we will use the learning path of users over resources as sequential data. We obtain over 1 million of sessions, number of strings, corresponding more than 2 million of log items, number of events. And the log items is here the access of a given resources by an user at a specific time. And for the overall, we obtain we have an alphabet of more than 13,000 symbols. The XFigun dataset has some specificity regarding other datasets in the literature. Firstly, the XFigun dataset has a very large universe size, the number of resources or the size of the alphabet. This universal size is more than 2 orders of magnitude bigger than those classically used in the literature, thus it makes a big difference. We also observe many long sequences. Classically in the literacy, the average size for sequence is about 3 or 4. In our case, it's about 20 or 22. This is arguably a threat in terms of privacy, since it is the very purpose of linkage attacks to find events that are rare enough to be used as quasi-identifier for users. We evaluate our approach on different tasks. For this presentation, we will focus on the frequent sequential pattern mining. The aim of frequent sequential pattern mining is to evaluate how well the frequent patterns are conserved in the generated data. This is particularly pertinent for applications such as recommendation, obviously, where the short patterns are really important. By construction, K-table offers strong guarantee to conserve short patterns, particularly patterns lower than K. For this reason, we use it as a baseline to compare. For processing the most frequent pattern, we use the library prefixspan in Python, and we report the result in terms of true positive rate, meaning that the best achievable score is 1. On the table, we report result for increasing value of n, the top 20, the top 40, the top 60, and so on. We also observe that even without pruning the quotest table, the first line where epsilon is equal to 0, we do not catch all the pattern, meaning that the quotest table or not is not able to catch all the pattern. Unsurprisingly, higher value of k allow to catch more patterns. We have a better result with k equal 4 than with k equal 2. And by comparing the first line on each subblock, so the line without privacy constraint, with the lines below, we observe that it is possible to continue to handle a reasonable percentage of patterns while assuring a privacy guarantee. For example, the case with epsilon equal 0.5, where we have a close score of true positive rate, but also with epsilon equal to 0.25. But when epsilon becomes too high, typically when epsilon equals 0.75, the utility is more impacted, and we observe the classical trade-off here between utility and privacy. In brief, in this paper, we develop a new method for sequential data publishing. The method uses sequential data to learn a K-table automata. The automata is thus pruned in order to satisfy a differential privacy-inspired definition of privacy. The overall algorithm is very fast and provides an high scalability. And the evaluation on the if-eigen data shows that the generated dataset preserves a good utility compared to the original data. If you have any questions or remarks, I will be very happy to discuss them during the question and answer sessions. And thank you very much for your attention.